Good morning, students. Today I will give you the Bohr's model of atom. Now, what are the main points of this model? I'll tell you the points. According to this model, every atom contains a positively charged species at the center of the atom, and which is called the nucleus. And the electrons are revolved around the nucleus in certain part which are called orbits. This is the first point. So according to Bohr, every atom contain a positively charged species at the center which is called nucleus, and the electrons are revolved around the nucleus in some circular path which are called orbits. An orbit, these are the orbits. An orbit contain definite amount of energy, and that is why these orbits are also called energy states. This is called first energy state, second energy state, third energy state, fourth energy state, like that, which are also said to be cell. As you know, the first cell is called K cell, second cell is L cell, third cell M, fourth cell N, like this. These are called cell also, and they are called energy states also because each orbit contain a definite amount of energy, and that is why they are said to be energy states. Now, when you draw the orbit, the circular path are called orbit. You can draw so many orbits, but only those orbits are allowed which satisfy the angular momentum relation mvr is equal nh by 4 pi, where n is integer. I mean, every orbit should follow this angular momentum relation. M means mass of electron, V means the velocity of electron, R means the radius of the orbit. Radius means it is the distance from the nucleus to the orbit. H is Planck constant, already you have got. Pi value you know, 3.14. So you can find out the value of n, and that n must be integer. That is why when you draw the orbit should be in a fixed distance from the nucleus. I mean, it should be in a fixed radius. If your radius is wrong, then the n value you don't get integer. So that is why your radius must be correct one. If the radius is correct, then you will get n as integer. That is why every orbit should follow this angular momentum relationship mvr is equal nh by 4 pi, where n should be integer. Mass into velocity into radius gives the angular momentum. Again, when an electron is present in an orbit, the electron contain a definite amount of energy. But when the electron absorbs some amount of energy, then the electron can jump from the lower level to higher level. I mean, when an electron is present in an orbit, the energy of the electron is fixed, but energy may be emitted or absorbed when it jumps from one orbit to another orbit. Normally, when the electron absorbs energy, then it will jump from lower level to higher level, and when the electron comes back from higher to lower level, then it will emit the energy. So, suppose the first cell energy is 100 joule. This is the energy of first cell, suppose E1. Energy of second cell is suppose 150 joule, suppose. Energy of third is suppose 200. Energy of fourth cell suppose 250, like this the energies are given. When the electron is present in the first orbit, then the energy of the electron will be 100 joule. But suppose this electron gain another 100 joule of energy. So initially the energy is 100. when it absorbs another 100, total amount of energy will be 200. Then the electron will automatically jump from first cell to third cell, because third cell energy is 200. So depending on the amount of energy absorbed, it will jump from lower level to higher level. To which level, to which cell it will jump, it depends on the amount of energy absorbed. And always you remember, the absorbing energy and the emitting energy, I mean when the electron jump from lower to higher, it will absorb the energy, and when it comes back from higher to lower, then it will emit the energy. That absorbing amount of energy and the emitting amount of energy is always same. I mean, if it absorbs 100 joule of energy, it will emit 100 joule also when it comes back. And that emitting or absorbing energy you can determine by using the relation delta E is equal E2 minus E1. So if you want to find out, suppose an electron jump from first cell to third cell, how much energy it absorbed, then you can find out by using this relation delta E is equal E2 minus E1. And what is E2? E2 means higher energy. E2 means higher energy level, and E1 means lower energy level. By doing this, you can find out the emitting amount of energy or absorbing amount of energy. So these are the main points of Bohr's model of atom. So I'll tell you again what are the main points. First point, every atom contains a positively charged species which is called nucleus, and the electrons are revolved around the nucleus in certain circular paths which are called orbits. Secondly, second point, when an electron is present in an second point, each orbit contain a definite amount of energy. First orbit contain definite amount of energy, second orbit contain definite amount of energy. So every orbit contain a definite amount of energy, and that's why also said to be energy states. Third point, only those orbits are allowed which satisfy the angular momentum relation ambient is equal nh by 4 pi, where n is integer. Similarly, the fourth point, and the fourth point is energy may be emitted or it may be absorbed when the electron jump from one orbit to another orbit. When an electron absorb energy, then it will jump from lower energy to higher energy level, and when it emit energy, it will come from higher level to lower level. I mean, when the electron absorb the energy, then the electron will jump from lower level to higher energy level, and when it comes back from higher level to lower level, then it will emit the same amount of energy. And the amount of emitting or absorbing energy you can determine by using the relation delta E is equal E2 minus E1, where E2 is higher energy level and E1 is lower energy level. So like this way you can write the points of Bohr's model of atom. There are mainly 4 points. That 4 points you can write like this according to Bohr. Thank you.